Hi, you're watching K-On! Trivial Facts and Random Thoughts, Episode 20. Here I point out some interesting details in Season 2 of K-On! Which you may have noticed or not. Errors may be made in this video, and some facts may not be 100% accurate, but if you find that I made a mistake, place a comment down in the comment section, or send me a message. Now, let's begin. At the beginning of this episode, I'd like to point out the sound that the marker makes while Ritsu is writing on Mio. We can now confirm that Mio is made of plastic. When Mio notices Ritsu write people many times on her arm, she gets this nervous feeling, indicated by the sweat dripping down her face. Mio also gets nervous in a crowd of many people. There may be a connection here, or this is a really long stretch. Along with writing people all over her arm, Yui also darkens the lifeline, which is used in palm reading. Looking at her lifeline, it extends to the middle of the palm away from the thumb, which represents a life of a lot of traveling. The people waiting to perform next on stage has a large paper fan. This means that these students are going to do a comedy act. While getting pumped up for the show, Smoogie's eyebrows turn upside down, number 181. And when they're about to go on stage, Smoogie's eyebrows turn upside down, number 182. When Ritsu brings up the festival 2 years ago, Mio shows signs of mental distress, even after 2 years. If you've forgotten what this was, here's a quick recap. While comforting Mio, Smoogie's eyebrows turn upside down, number 183. Now if you look at the way Yui stands up on stage as she tries to get up, it looks very familiar. Coincidence? You would have to be the greatest school ever to let a mosh pit form in front of the stage. Even if it's tame. The first song the girls perform is Gohan wa Okazu, but if you remember in a previous episode, the lyrics were initially rejected at first. And when the girls are about to play, Smoogie's eyebrows turn upside down, number 184. In one of the shots of the crowds, you can see that someone is holding up the branches that were used in the Romeo and Juliet play. In the MC segments of the performance, you can see cell phones pop in and out of the crowd every now and then. Later on, Yui starts talking about her role as a tree and how she had to sneeze up on stage. This was shown quite well in the previous episode. As the performance goes on, Yui eventually gives the Vulcan salute, which originated from the Star Trek original TV series. If they're giving away free t-shirts and the auditorium is already overflowing, try to imagine the amount of t-shirts they would have to make, as well as the cost to make each t-shirt. That, my friends, is called dedication. When Yui introduces Sawako, the teacher to the left gives her an odd look of disapproval. He even does the clearing throat of disapproval. But then later on, he does the nod of approval. Also, his eyebrows turn upside down. When Yui introduces Mio, there's a character in the background that resembles the old student council president. As Mio steps up to the mic, you can see that a lot of people are holding up cameras, something that you would normally see during a high school performance. When Tsumugi goes on a spiel about being in a band, the camera switches to an angle that contains the Occult Club girls. But the Occult Club girls aren't the focus of the shot. It appears to be these three girls. Do they have any significance? Who knows? As Yui is introducing Azusa, she accidentally knocks over her stand but quickly catches it. If this were Yui and Mio, we'd all know how this would turn out. On Yui's introduction, Ui turns around to talk to some people. Some say they resemble her parents from the manga, but it's hard to say. When the camera pans out to view the building, you can see there's a Christmas tree down on the side. Now this goes without saying, if you run out of decoration ideas, put up a Christmas tree. After the performance, the girls end up in their club room and talk about their future plans. This is undoubtedly one of the most important scenes in K-On! Every slice of life show is based on character development. To do this, instead of using a central plot that runs throughout the entire series, they use several small subplots focusing on a character or group of characters. As each subplot is resolved, we get to learn a little bit more about the characters and develop a connection to them. These connections become a memory to the viewer, so when someone brings up a Christmas party, you think, hey, I remember that. Not only is this scene a recollection of all that's happened, it's also the climax. Not only are they saying, hey, do you remember this? They're also saying, I'm going to miss this. And if you found yourself crying or smiling uncontrollably from this scene, then the series has done its job, establishing a connection to the characters. Some slice of life shows are solely based on making you laugh, but that doesn't create the emotional ties with the characters. This is why series like Lucky Star or Azumanga Daioh don't stand as strong as K-On! And as Tsumugi starts crying, her eyebrows turn upside down, number 186. Now as Tsumugi is crying, the animators put a lot of details into her face. Not only is it slightly turning red, but so are the tip of her ears. When we see Sawako with Nodoka, we get to see her egotistical side again. This is also comic relief from the long sad scene we just witnessed. In the credits, the songs Gohan wa Okazu and You and I aren't credited by the proper people. Instead, they're credited by Yui Hirasawa and Tsumugi Kotobuki. As far as logic goes, they don't exist. Or do they? That about does it for this episode. On the next episode, we're cutting it close. Maybe a little bit too close. Now if you find something interesting in K-On!, something that made you think, or something that I missed, contact me. Now, I'll see you later.
Winning that ticket, Rose, was the best thing that ever happened to me. It brought me to you. And I'm thankful for that, Rose. I'm thankful.